coffee. We're ready to go. Nice. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about money. And I know this is quite a touchy subject, but it's something that I want to talk about more because I cannot tell you how beneficial it has been for me to have people in my life to talk about money with in a really open, honest, non-taboo kind of way. I never had a good relationship with money growing up. I was a big fan of the retail therapy thing, and I had a lot of really nasty, awful habits to break. Having friends and people in my life to talk to openly about my finances and how I'm spending my money and how I'm saving my money has completely revolutionized the way that I see money and the way that I spend it. And so what we're going to talk about today is habitual spending. I never thought of the way that I spend money as a habit. As I became more self-aware and more aware in general of how I was spending my money and what I was spending my money on, the source of my joy and making myself feel better was always related to spending money, and that was a habit that I had to break. So I'm going to tell you 20 things that I have personally stopped buying as a habit. That's not to say I don't sometimes, here and there, buy these things, but they're things that I've stopped buying constantly, all the time, out of habit. Quick disclaimer, if any of the things that I mention are things that bring you immense joy and they're an instrumental part of your lifestyle and your routine and you can't imagine yourself parting with these things, then they're not habitual purchases, and that's okay. Like, that's completely fine. And it's completely fine to have habitual purchases too. Like, this, I'm not trying to bash anyone for the way they spend their money. That is the last thing I want to do because that doesn't help anyone. The first thing, and this had to be the first thing, is coffee. For a long time, and I think at uni specifically, because I didn't like coffee up until I had to write my dissertation at uni, and I sort of had to drink it, and I learned to like it in that period. I was always buying takeaway coffee because A, I didn't have a coffee machine, and B, I needed the coffee, and I also didn't know what I liked, and so I was trying lots of different kinds of coffee to sort of figure out what my preference was. And now I have a coffee machine at home, but also I do get free coffee at work, which makes things very much easier. Like, it makes my life so much easier knowing that I have a barista and I have coffee machines that I can get free coffee from. I think coffee should be free at every single place of work, just out of, like, empathy. The second thing I cut out was fizzy drinks. Now, fizzy drinks are bad for you in general, like, for your health. So on that front, like, it was easy for me to cut out, but also I just don't like them. They don't agree with my body. They make me really bloated. They ruin my entire day. So no matter how much I like the taste of Coke and Fanta, there's just no point for me. App subscriptions. We need to talk about this because I didn't realize for a long time, I didn't realize just how many app subscriptions I have, and they're so dangerous because it's $2.99 here, it's 99p there. You don't think it adds up to a lot, but when you've got 15 subscriptions coming out of your account, suddenly that's 30, 40 quid coming out of your account in dribs and drabs over the month, and you don't notice it. It is so sneaky. The only app or service subscriptions that I have left other than like my mobile phone and my gym are Netflix and Spotify. They're the only two things that I'm subscribed to that I pay for regularly. Kind of in the same wave as app subscriptions is microtransactions. I used to be a big sucker for microtransactions, especially in the days of Best Fiends and Candy Crush, things like that. Like, just little games that you play on your phone, you get really invested in, you really enjoy them, and every so often it comes up with a little thing that says, you can buy these tokens now for 99p or for £2 or whatever, and you can advance in your game, you'll have all these extra points. It is so tempting. You'll be very hard pressed to find a free app that doesn't have some form of microtransaction. And I get it, people need to make money, you know, that's completely fine. However, do you need to spend that money? Is it really going to advance your life all that much? Is that going to bring you all that much joy? If the answer is yes, more power to you. Like, you do you. For me, the answer was absolutely fucking not. I stopped buying magazines, and this pains me a little bit because I'm in that industry, I work in that industry with newspapers and magazines, and I know that it is suffering. People are going digital, people aren't reading magazines and newspapers anywhere near as much as they used to. Numbers are falling. I'm aware and I'm contributing to it and I'm sorry. First of all, save the trees, you know? And second of all, it's information that is going to be outdated so quickly. I'm never going to reread it again. I'm never going to pick it up. I was collecting these piles and piles of magazines thinking, oh my god, it's so cool, I own all these editions. When actually it was clutter. It was stuff that was just laying around my house, and I don't find any value in reading a magazine. There's nothing that I get out of it that I couldn't get out of just like browsing the internet, so I cut magazines out. Trinkets, clutter, all that kind of decorative stuff that doesn't serve a purpose other than to like decorate your shelf. I love me a well-styled shelf. I do. I love it. But especially this year and last year, as I've moved towards minimalism and I much prefer a tidy space that has very like minimal stuff, I just can't bring myself to spend money on things anymore. When I go to HomeSense or I go to TK Maxx, I used to love browsing the little like clutter sections and finding something really sweet that would look amazing on my shelf. And I still have a lot of those things. I haven't thrown them away, but I don't need any more. Meal deal lunches. Look, I am absolutely that person that will make myself dinner and I make extra for lunch the next day and then I leave it in the fridge the morning after and I end up lunchless, so I have to go and buy myself a meal deal. I have had to be so strict with myself, like intentional with myself, to stop myself forgetting my lunch. I write post-its now and I stick them behind doors, like behind my front doors, like get your lunch from the fridge. And so I don't forget my lunch anymore most of the time. Uber Eats and Deliveroo. I'm very sorry to say, I don't even have those apps on my phone anymore. I got in a big hole of takeaways, especially while I was in a relationship. I don't know, there's something about like being in a relationship where you just end up getting takeaways all the time. What's that about? Now, I don't anymore. Like, I have completely just deleted the apps off my phone. I have all the food that I need at home, and if I ever do get takeaways, it's intentional because I'm with friends or I really fancy it that day, not because, oh, I don't know what to cook, I'm just gonna order a McDonald's, which is exactly what I was doing. I live in London, I've got everything on my doorstep. I can order from literally anywhere I want. The temptation is always there. So I've deleted the apps off my phone. I don't do it anymore. This one hurts me, but it's cute stationery. I love me a notebook. I love me a notepad. I collected so many notebooks. In fact, I've got two right here next to me. These adorable notebooks. This one says, "Here to save my future ass." This one says, "Fierce." They're both, no, one's from Paper Chase and one is from Central 23. I love these notebooks. I went well out of my way to like look for them and buy them when I saw them online. And you know what? I haven't written a single word in them. Not one. I am notorious for buying a notebook and never using it because I get nervous. It's so nice. Like, I'm gonna write in it, I'm gonna ruin it. Like, it makes no sense. Makes no sense. Trendy clothes and fast fashion. I'm in a tricky situation at the moment where I'm not really feeling the clothes that I have anymore, but I also don't like the clothes that I see in shops. I've never been like a trend follower. I don't really like give a damn. I don't keep up with fashion trends or any of that stuff. And I, for a period, was buying a lot of stuff from Misguided and I don't know, just H&M, places that you don't really want to be buying your clothes from because fast fashion and sweatshops and all the things we should be avoiding. Save the planet and all that. So now I'm sort of working through my closet and figuring out what are the things that I do wear and that I do enjoy and that I do love, and what are the things that I don't. Those things I'm selling, mostly on Depop, or I'm giving them away to charity shops when they don't sell on Depop. And then I'm just being really intentional about the things that I buy. I used to be a person that would go out and buy a new outfit if I had somewhere to go. And I just don't do that anymore because A, it's expensive, and B, It's money! It's money that I'm spending on clothes that I'm not gonna wear next week or next month or next year. I want to buy things that I'm gonna wear for a very long time, that I'm gonna love for a very long time. Things that are good quality, that are ethically sourced, things that, like, I'm gonna feel good about wearing. Fast fashion is awful. And the more you educate yourself, the worse you feel. And I've done so much research and I just can't bring myself to do it anymore. I feel horrific about it all, and so I just don't contribute to shops like that anymore. Still in the same cloud as clothes, shoes. Shoes are my biggest weakness. I love shoes, and I think the only thing saving me and making this a lot easier for me is that I really struggle to find shoes that fit me comfortably. But I still love shoes and I buy them because I also then have that thing that's like, if I find a pair of shoes that fits me really nicely, I'm like, it's gold dust! Like, I need to buy it because I'm never gonna find another pair of shoes that fits me like this. And I've had to really break away from that. Handbags, major weakness. I have too many handbags and I've sold the majority of them. I had so many bags that looked almost the same. I don't need multiple small, medium and large black bags. I love them, but I was spending so much money buying new bags and I just don't need them. And then we've got makeup. Obviously I still wear makeup, I'm wearing it right now, and I have my key makeup product, but all of my makeup fits into one makeup bag. I know that that sounds extreme, especially if you're really into makeup, if you really love your products. Like, I'm not saying you have to be like me. I just own the stuff that I need to make myself look presentable, and that's it. And I live a much happier life this way because I'm not spending money on products that end up not working for me, so that's that. And then we've got makeup wipes. I don't buy makeup wipes anymore. I use a cleanser, like an oil cleanser. Whenever I have bought makeup wipes, I've bought the simple biodegradable ones, which are more expensive, but they make me feel like a little bit better. I only really buy them if I'm going somewhere and I can't take all of like my cleansers and all that kind of stuff with me if I don't have room in my bag. Cheap jewelry. This one's gonna be sensitive, I'm sorry. Like, I know this one irks people, but for me, personally, I don't see the bloody point. This pair of earrings, these are from Topshop. I spent like £10 on them and I love them, but I've had to repurchase them twice in 3 months, so I've actually had to spend £30 on these hoops, and for that money I could have bought a nice pair of hoops that wouldn't go green. I would much rather have nice jewelry, like one set of nice jewelry, one nice necklace, one nice ring, like one nice pair of earrings that isn't going to go green, that isn't going to get ruined in a week or two if I decide to shower in them one day. And the thing is, you don't even have to spend a lot of money on jewelry for it to be nice. You just need to know where to go. I'm not saying go and buy designer jewelry because, like, costume jewelry is for peasants. That's not what I'm saying at all. I have a problem against jewelry that makes my skin green. Phone cases! Oh my god, I have one phone case at the moment. It's this one, it's got little peaches on it, and then I have two other phone cases sitting in my drawer. At one point in my life, I had like a collection of 20 or 30 phone cases. Why? If they break, fine, buy a new one. But then you change your phone, and suddenly the 20 cases that you owned for your last phone no longer fit your new phone, so you have to go and buy more phone cases. What is the point? I'd walk past Skinny Dip and I'd be like, oh, that's a nice phone case, and I'd just pick it up, and suddenly that's 15 quid just flown out of your account for no bloody reason. Like, yeah, I had a problem when it came to phone cases, but I stopped buying those. I don't want to talk about this one, but I want to talk about it. Alcohol. I am not a big drinker by any means, but that's only because I'm a lightweight. I will have one or two drinks and be drunk. I don't need to drink a ton, which means I don't end up spending a ton of money on alcohol anyway. I don't need to drink to have a good time. That's always been true. I've never felt like if I'm going out, I need to drink. I'm more than happy to go out and be the sober friend. I don't go out anywhere near as much as I used to anymore. Especially when I was at uni, I was going out every other night. But now that I'm 25 and I'm, you know, just living my best life in my house and working my job and like seeing my friends, I don't really go out anymore. If I do, it's to go and have one or two drinks with friends. It's to go and have a glass of wine with dinner. It's not binge drinking anymore. I drink for fun with my friends. I don't ever drink to get drunk anymore, and that reflects itself in my like habitual spending. I don't really spend money on alcohol out of habit anymore. It's always intentional. I'm sorry to all millennials everywhere, but I don't buy plants anymore. I don't. There's no point. I kill them all. It doesn't matter how well I look after it, how closely I follow instructions. It's like everything I touch dies. So I don't do it anymore. And I don't get the hype either. Sorry. Then we've got stuffed toys. I'm a big sucker for like a cute stuffed animal. I don't buy stuffed animals for myself anymore. I don't use them as decorative pieces. I have one in my bed that I sleep with, and that is it. Like I don't have any place for them or any use for them. And last but not least, the 20th thing is mugs. This is more of a promise, okay, because I haven't done this yet. It's been like 3 weeks since I bought my last mug, and it was this one. And I've had to promise myself and my flatmate that I will not be buying any more mugs. I have a problem. I have a problem. I've accepted it. I need to stop. One woman does not need more than 15 mugs. She just doesn't, and so I will not be buying any more mugs. This is my promise to you, verbalized on the internet, and we all know the internet is forever, so I hereby promise that I will not be buying any more mugs, no matter how cute they are, and no matter how much I want them. But those are just 20 things that I identified in my life as habitual purchases, things that I was doing out of habit and not out of need or want. Let me know down below what you think some of your habitual purchases are. What are things that you spend money on that you, if you really look inward, know that you don't need to be spending your money on. Thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know if you want more money related content on the channel. I really want to talk about finance, like personal finance. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of this content, and I will see you next week for a brand new video.